Walt Disney World is one of the most expensive vacations you can take in America, and it gets pricier every single year. When you're paying north of $150 per person just to walk through the gate, before food, before parking, before the extra fees to skip the lines you already paid to stand in, every choice you make inside the park carries real weight. Not every attraction is worth the cost in time, money, or standing. Here are 11 attractions in Walt Disney World that aren't worth it anymore. Number 11. Stitch's Great Escape, Magic Kingdom. Let's start with an easy one, because this attraction isn't just not worth it. It doesn't exist anymore. Stitch's Great Escape officially closed on January 6, 2018, and Disney confirmed the permanent closure in July 2020. The building it occupied in Tomorrowland has been standing mostly vacant ever since, which is actually a fitting memorial to the experience it contained. The attraction opened in November 2004 as a replacement for Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, a genuinely terrifying show that Disney had decided was too scary for families. The solution was to take the same theater, the same shoulder restraint technology, the same total darkness, and replace the alien threat with Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. The logic being that Stitch was cute, kids loved him, and putting him in a pitch-black theater with hydraulic shoulder clamps pressing down on children would somehow be less frightening. It was not less frightening. Children were routinely scared. The shoulder restraints, which pressed down on guests at the start and then activated throughout the show as Stitch supposedly climbed across them, caused discomfort and anxiety in guests of all ages who hadn't been warned about them. The chili dog burp, a pungent smell pumped directly from shoulder level during the show, left guests nauseated for longer than anyone planned. The attraction became so unpopular that Disney reduced it to seasonal operation in 2016, and it quietly died in early 2018 without any formal announcement. The way Disney lets things go when they're embarrassed about them. The reason it earns a spot on this list, even though it no longer operates, is that the building still sits in the middle of Tomorrowland, a visible reminder of an attraction philosophy that did not work. The space has been occasionally repurposed. It served as a pop-up retail location when Tiaron Light Cycle/Run opened in 2023, and permits filed in early 2025 indicate it is currently being used as a backstage cast member lounge with some infrastructure maintenance underway. The chatter about what might eventually replace it has been going on for 7 years. Various concepts have floated through the rumor mill. A Wreck-It Ralph experience, a broader Tomorrowland reimagining, without anything materializing. Meanwhile, in a park where Lightning Lane Multipass can cost up to $45 per person on peak days, the presence of an entire building in a prime location that generates no guest experience represents an interesting statement about Disney's ongoing renovation priorities. A new permit for sprinkler repairs was filed in early 2025, which is genuinely the most exciting news the space has generated since it closed. Number 10. The Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Magic Kingdom. The Magic Carpets of Aladdin in Adventureland is, in objective terms, a spinner ride with a theme painted on it. Guests board a 4-person carpet and go in circles while the carpet goes up and down. A giant golden camel near the entrance occasionally spits water at guests. That's the attraction. It opened in 2001, which was the same year the original Magic Carpets attraction in Disneyland opened, and in the intervening years, very little has happened to make it meaningfully different from what it was then. The ride occupies valuable real estate in Adventureland, just steps from the Jungle Cruise, and it draws modest wait times compared to other Magic Kingdom headliners. The Aladdin theming is present in the form of carpet design and the genie lamp posted at the entrance. But there is no storytelling, no audio narration, and no attempt to create an immersive experience. You ride a flying carpet in circles, the camel may or may not spit water on you, and then you exit into Adventureland. In practice, it's the kind of ride that parents with toddlers do out of desperation, when the lines for everything else are 90 minutes long. Guests who have been riding it since childhood mostly remember the water-spitting camel and the fact that the carpet can tilt slightly, depending on whether you push the joystick in your vehicle. At full per-day ticket prices, which can hit $209 at peak Magic Kingdom pricing, spending 15 minutes on a carousel variant with an Aladdin skin requires a certain generosity of spirit. For families with very young children who can't handle the height requirements on other rides, it fills a function. For everyone else, it's a placeholder. Number 9. Journey into Imagination with Figment. Epcot. Figment, the purple dragon, has a devoted following at Epcot. And that devotion is genuinely moving, given how thoroughly Disney has mismanaged his attraction over the past 3 decades. The current version of Journey into Imagination with Figment, which opened in 2002 after 2 previous iterations, represents a compromise between the character's fans who wanted him restored and Disney's various attempts to replace or diminish him. The original Journey into Imagination, which opened with Epcot in 1983, was anchored by Figment and the Dream Finder, a red-bearded inventor who collected imaginative concepts in a giant balloon. It was considered a classic. Disney replaced it in 1999 with a version that eliminated Figment almost entirely, centered the experience on a fictional scientist named Dr. Nigel Channing, and produced what is widely considered one of the worst-received attraction updates in Disney Parks history. Guests hated it. Figment was brought back in 2002 in the current version, which kept Dr. Channing and the Imagination Institute framing while restoring the dragon. The result is an attraction that never quite commits to being either the classic it once was or the modern experience it was redesigned to be. The skunk scene, which pipes an odor into the car to simulate Figment's imagination getting out of control, is among the least pleasant themed smells Disney has inflicted on guests outside of the Stitch burp. The effect is meant to be playful, but the execution produces a smell that most guests describe as simply unpleasant. The ride is short at roughly 5 minutes. The technology is showing its age, and the ending sequence, in which Figment takes over the Imagination Institute with various visual effects, lands somewhere between charming and chaotic, depending on how much goodwill you arrived with. The broader context makes the wait frustrating. Epcot has undergone substantial renovation in recent years. Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and other additions have genuinely elevated the park's overall ride quality. Against that backdrop, the Figment attraction highlights the gap between what Epcot is becoming and what some of its remaining legacy attractions still are. The line for it regularly stretches past 45 minutes. For a 20-year-old attraction with mid-era Epcot production values and a smell that people describe as sour gym locker, that wait is difficult to justify. Number 8. Tomorrowland Speedway, Magic Kingdom. The Tomorrowland Speedway opened in 1971 with Magic Kingdom, and the cars that run on its track are powered by gasoline engines. In 2025, at a theme park that brands itself as the future, that detail is not ideal. The ride consists of small cars on a guided track that guests steer, loosely, because the track does most of the steering, around a flat asphalt course. The cars produce exhaust. The experience of sitting behind one of them in line on a warm Florida afternoon involves breathing in a notable amount of that exhaust. Guests who remember riding it as children sometimes find that the nostalgia wears off during the actual wait. The cars themselves have been updated cosmetically over the decades, but the fundamental experience has not changed since 1971. You drive a small car very slowly around an oval track and then get out. Disney announced plans to replace the gas-powered motors with electric ones and re-theme the attraction, a change that would address the emissions issue and potentially update the visual identity. As of 2025, That work has not been completed at Walt Disney World, and the attraction continues to run its original gas-powered engines. Wait times are generally moderate, but the ride lasts approximately 5 minutes on a track that looks largely as it did during the Nixon administration. There is no drop, no significant speed, and no immersive theming to speak of beyond the general Tomorrowland aesthetic. It serves the same function as the magic carpets. It gives kids who can't handle bigger rides something to do, but the exhaust fumes are a legitimate quality of life issue. And in a park that charges premium prices for every experience, a gas-powered go-kart loop represents a notable gap between expectation and delivery. Number 7. Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress, Magic Kingdom. This entry comes with a significant asterisk because the Carousel of Progress has a genuine claim to Disney Parks history that few other surviving attractions can match. Walt Disney himself conceived and oversaw its development as the centerpiece of General Electric's pavilion at the 1964-65 New York World's Fair. It was enormously popular. An estimated 16 million people saw it during the 2 seasons of the fair. It moved to Disneyland, then to Magic Kingdom in 1975, and it has been running there ever since. The problem is that the last significant update to the show was in 1994, which means the modern final act of the carousel, the one meant to represent today, has been set at Christmas in a vaguely early 1990s home for over 30 years. The characters reference a voice-activated oven and VR gaming equipment, which were futuristic adjacent concepts in 1994 and are now simply outdated technology that no longer reads as a vision of the future. The irony of an attraction called the Carousel of Progress failing to keep pace with actual progress is not lost on regular visitors. The show runs approximately 20 minutes in a rotating theater that seats 240 guests across 6 stages. The theater rotates while the stages remain stationary, which was an engineering achievement in 1964 and remains an elegant mechanical design. Wait times are negligible, which tells you something. Longtime fans of the park describe it as a comfortable, air-conditioned break from the heat and crowds, which is accurate and not exactly the review an attraction designed to celebrate technological optimism should aspire to. There is also something specifically ironic about sitting in a 20-minute show celebrating the wonders of modern technology in a building where the most modern content is approximately as old as the original Toy Story film. Disney filed a new Imagineering permit for the space in early 2026, suggesting updates may be coming, including a possible Walt Disney audio animatronic figure. Until those changes arrive, the Carousel of Progress remains the most lovingly defended mediocre attraction in theme park history. Number 6. Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, Magic Kingdom. Like the Carousel of Progress, the Enchanted Tiki Room occupies a specific category: historically significant, genuinely beloved by a dedicated subset of guests, and difficult to recommend to anyone arriving without existing affection for it. The Tiki Room opened at Disneyland in 1963 as the first attraction anywhere to use audio animatronics technology exclusively. It was a genuine technological achievement. 225 animatronic birds, flowers, and tiki statues performing a synchronized musical show, and all of it driven by technology that Walt Disney's Imagineers invented specifically for the project. The concept originated as a restaurant. Walt Disney originally wanted audio animatronic birds serenading guests as they ate. When that proved impractical, the dining concept was dropped and the performance space remained. The result is something that doesn't quite fit any modern category. Not a dark ride, not a thrill attraction, not a show in any conventional sense, but a 15-minute theatrical experience in a room full of robotic tropical birds. The Walt Disney World version opened in 1971 as Tropical Serenade, went through several versions and renamings, incorporated characters from Aladdin and The Lion King in 1998, a change that fans overwhelmingly disliked and was restored to its original format in 2011 after a small fire destroyed the Iago animatronic and gave Disney a convenient opportunity to revert. The current show runs about 15 minutes. 4 animatronic bird hosts named Jose, Fritz, Michael, and Pierre lead the performance. There is a tropical storm sequence. The birds sing, the flowers sing, the Tiki gods make an appearance. There is no line to speak of, because there has not been a meaningful line for this attraction in years. There is also no lightning lane offered for it because none is needed. The lack of a wait does make it a genuinely useful refuge on a packed Magic Kingdom day. 15 minutes of air conditioning and a seated show can be a reasonable trade when the alternative is standing in the Florida sun waiting for something else. The Dole Whip stand near the entrance also helps the Tiki Room's cause considerably. Whether it's worth your time at Walt Disney World in 2025 depends almost entirely on whether animatronic birds singing songs from 1963 is something you find charming or tedious. For a certain generation of park goers, it remains one of the most distinctly Disney things in any of the parks. For most children and first-time visitors in the modern era, it lands somewhere between mild curiosity and confusion about why they're sitting here when Space Mountain is in the same park. Number 5. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin, Magic Kingdom. Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin has been a staple of Tomorrowland since it opened in 1998. And the core concept, a slow-moving dark ride where guests shoot at targets with laser blasters to accumulate points, was genuinely engaging when it opened. The interactive component was novel, the theming was fun, and the competitive element between riders encouraged replay visits. The problem in 2025 is that the targets are difficult to hit in ways that feel unintentional rather than challenging. The scoring system is opaque enough that guests rarely feel meaningfully rewarded, and the visual presentation of the ride has aged to a degree that its mid-1990s production values are clearly visible. The sets are flat. The laser effects are low resolution by modern standards. The animatronic Buzz Lightyear figure at the end of the ride delivers a brief, congratulatory speech that looked dated even in 2005. The ride vehicles themselves have been in service long enough that the spin mechanism, which allows cars to rotate freely, varies noticeably between units. In the same park complex, Toy Story Land at Hollywood Studios has Toy Story Mania, an interactive shooting ride with significantly higher production values and a more satisfying gameplay loop. The existence of that alternative makes it harder to build a case for a 27-year-old Tomorrowland shooting gallery running on technology that hasn't been substantially updated in over 2 decades. Disney has announced that the attraction will be replaced, with updates reportedly coming, but no specific timeline or replacement concept has been confirmed as of early 2026. It's fun for the kids, but the tech feels really old, is a version of the review that appears across multiple visitor forums, and it captures the core problem. The concept holds up, but the execution stopped being state-of-the-art a very long time ago. Number 4. Country Bear Jamboree, Magic Kingdom. Country Bear Jamboree opened with Magic Kingdom in 1971 and has not changed in any fundamental way since 1986, when the last significant update was made to the show. It is a 20-minute audio animatronic country music review featuring an ensemble of bears, including Buff the Moosehead, Max the Staghead, and Melvin the Buffalo Head, mounted on a wall and performing comedy routines between songs. The show has genuine admirers, and the craftsmanship of the original audio animatronics is real. Mark Davis, one of Disney's legendary 9 Old Men animators, was central to the design of the attraction. The characters are well realized. The comedy, while dad joke adjacent, has internal consistency. For visitors interested in the history of Disney Imagineering and the evolution of audio animatronics technology, it remains a worthwhile stop. Country Bear Jamboree is also, almost always, essentially a walk-on, which in a park famous for its wait times is not a small thing. For the general park guest, paying current Magic Kingdom prices, however, Country Bear Jamboree is a 20-minute commitment to a show that has not been updated since Reagan was president. The country music review format, which felt current-ish in 1971, occupies a specific cultural moment that has passed. The Bears do not reference anything produced after the mid-1980s. The show's jokes have been heard by enough repeat visitors that the punchlines arrive in anticipation. The character wardrobe looks like it was last refreshed around the same time as the script. Disney has circled the attraction with occasional renovation discussions for years without committing to a change. It endures, reliably, doing exactly what it did in 1971. Whether that longevity is charming or concerning is a matter of perspective. Number 3, Jungle Cruise, Magic Kingdom. The Jungle Cruise is one of the most iconic attractions in Disney Parks history, and qualifying it as not worth it requires some precision about what specifically has changed and why it matters. The ride itself, a slow boat journey through audio-animatronic jungle environments, narrated by a skipper delivering a steady stream of deliberately terrible puns, remains one of the most purely Disney experiences in any of the parks. The skipper humor is still sharp when the cast member is good, and the best performers turn the boat ride into a genuinely entertaining comedy show. The jokes are designed to be corny on purpose, and a skilled skipper owns that fully. The issue is twofold. First, the 2021 update that removed the negative depictions of natives, including the headhunting tribe and the Trader Sam shrunken head character, resulted in replacement scenes that feel underwritten. Trader Sam's gift shop now occupies the space where one of the ride's most beloved comedic moments used to live, and the replacement chimp scene that fills other gaps reads as filler. The ride's identity was built substantially on its absurdist exoticism, and the parts that leaned hardest into that absurdism were the ones that got removed. What replaced them has less personality, and regular riders notice the absence. Second, and more practically, the Jungle Cruise routinely draws wait times of 45 minutes or more on a busy day. At that wait time, the experience needs to deliver at a high level every time, and it doesn't, because it depends heavily on the quality of the individual skipper on duty. A great skipper makes the Jungle Cruise worth any wait. A skipper having a rough day, or reading from a script without commitment, and the ride is a 12-minute slow boat past animatronic hippos for which you just waited an hour. If you catch it on a shorter wait or are among the first in line at rope drop, it's still a good use of your time. At 90 minutes on a summer Saturday, reconsider. Number 2, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Magic Kingdom. This entry is likely to generate the most disagreement because the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is genuinely well executed. The theming is excellent. The swinging mine cars are a clever mechanical gimmick. The audio animatronics inside the mine are among the best in Magic Kingdom, and the integration of the pre-show and queue environment into the overall experience shows real craft from the Imagineers who built it when it opened in 2014. The queue line alone, featuring interactive games and detailed mine environment, is better designed than many full attractions in the park. The problem is the wait time relative to what the ride actually delivers. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train consistently records some of the highest wait times in Magic Kingdom, frequently 60 to 90 minutes during peak seasons, and longer during school holidays. Lightning Lane Single Pass for the attraction costs up to $14 per person as of late 2024 pricing, on top of the park admission you already paid. That means a family of 4 is potentially spending an additional $56 on top of their already expensive park tickets just to skip to the front of the line for this specific ride. For that price and weight, you are riding a mild family coaster. It is not a thrill ride in any meaningful sense. The maximum speed is around 34 miles per hour, the duration is about 3 minutes, and the swinging mine car motions, while charming, is not particularly intense. It is a very well-dressed children's roller coaster that has been given the marketing weight of a headliner attraction, and the queue times it consistently generates do not match the experience it delivers. First-time visitors who have never experienced it should absolutely ride it. Once, on a short wait or via lightning lane if the timing works. Veterans who have ridden it multiple times and are contemplating another 90-minute stand in the Florida heat for a 3-minute coaster are the audience for this warning. Number 1. Test Track. Epcot. Test Track at Epcot has gone through more versions than most attractions twice its age, and the latest iteration, Test Track 3.0, which debuted in 2025, has added "Sponsored by General Motors" to the list of things visitors are asked to feel neutral about. The original Test Track opened in 1999 and placed guests in simulated car crash tests, including an outdoor segment that reached speeds of 65 miles per hour. It was one of Epcot's most popular attractions, and the concept worked well. You are the crash test dummy, and the ride builds tension effectively before delivering on the speed payoff. A major update in 2012 redesigned the experience around a car design simulator. Guests customized a virtual vehicle in the queue using a touchscreen kiosk and then evaluated their design against various performance tests during the ride. The concept was coherent, and the redesign was reasonably well received. Even if the design simulation interface in the queue line had a reputation for frustrating guests on busy days when kiosks were occupied or malfunctioning, the 2025 version restored elements of the original premise while leaning into the General Motors partnership more explicitly. Reactions from visitors have been mixed to negative. The integration of corporate sponsorship into the experience is visible enough that guests notice and comment on it, and several reviews describe the branding as more prominent than the storytelling. The outdoor high-speed segment that made the original thrilling is still present, but the surrounding experience has been redesigned enough times that it carries the accumulated weight of multiple failed identity experiments. Nothing is set in stone, but the changes feel like they're being made for the wrong reasons, is a version of the sentiment that circulates regularly in the Epcot fan community when the attraction comes up. Whether the 2025 version ultimately settles into something well-regarded remains to be seen, but as of its debut year, the consensus was that the return to heavy corporate co-branding had not improved the experience. Walt Disney World is still capable of delivering genuinely remarkable experiences. The rides at Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind, Avatar Flight of Passage, and Tron Light Cycle/Run are technically impressive by any standard. The parks at their best are still unlike anything else. The issue isn't that Disney has stopped building worthwhile attractions. The issue is that the gap between the best and worst experiences in the same park has never been more expensive to navigate. In 2025, a family of 4 can spend thousands of dollars on a multi-day Walt Disney World trip before they've bought a single churro. At that price point, making informed decisions about where to spend your time and where not to is less a nice-to-have and more a financial necessity. But at current prices, Magic Kingdom tickets hitting $209 on peak days, Lightning Lane Multipass adding up to $45 on top of that, food and parking layered in on top of everything else, the gap between the park's best attractions and its weakest ones has never mattered more. Every hour you spend in a 90-minute line for a 3-minute ride or sitting in an air-conditioned theater watching 30-year-old animatronics is time not spent on the experiences that justify the cost. The parks reward preparation. Know what you're walking into, know what the wait will cost you, and make deliberate choices. The attractions on this list aren't necessarily bad. Some of them have decades of history and genuine charm. They're just not worth what they ask of you anymore. If you found this useful, hit the like button. It genuinely helps the channel reach people who need this before their trip. And subscribe if you want to keep going. There's more coming.